What up, my Hebrew nation? House of Yasharel, mighty mountain, strong as an ox like Egypt. I brought you something. And first my head is bowed to all of our princes of Yehudah, to Gad, to Yissachar, and all the rest of Yaakov. Hallelujah. Yahuah. So this is going to prove that we are not indigenous. We're not their Indians. That means slaves. We are royal tribe Gad, and I'm going to let Father tell you in his words. This is the judgment of Edom. It is Jeremiah 49:1. And we're going to read this together, okay? But I want you to notice right here, you see that right there? Concerning. All of it is capitalized. All of it. And who is it to? To Edom, the white man. Now, we Hebrews have went to the Sefer, and I'll tell you why. Because it is the closest thing to our Hebrew books, untouched, and because it carries our Father's name, the names of our tribe that bear his name. But I went in your books that you call the Bible, that this nation and government gave you, and it says the very same thing. So we're going to break this down, and we're going to prove that we are Gad. Now, if you want to be native, that's fine. Y'all said then you're going to go down with it. These are the Gad. When you become royal tribe Gad again, means you've come home to our own covenant. The agreement and contract between Abraham, and our father Yahuah. And neither one of them have come out of it. One of them would have to come out and cancel, say, I don't want it no more. Like we've told Edom, royal tribe Gad, we don't want this covenant with you anymore. We break it. We're not our ancestors today. Yahuah and Abraham did not break that covenant, so it still stands, and it's the only one for Hebrews. Now, let's find out what it said, and I'm going to explain it to you the way Father explained it to me in study. All right. Now, it says, I can't read it through the phone, so I'm just going to lay you down for it and I'm going to read it. And like I said, it says the same thing in your books. Jeremiah 49. Concerning Edom, thus says Yahuah, has Yasharel no sons? Has he no heir? Why then does their king inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities? Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahuah, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah. That's the big city of Edom. Now, let's go to your books. Your book said to Edom, Yahuah asked the question, does yours say Gog, Israel? Cancel that name out in Yahuah's name. That's another reason we use the Sefer, is because the tampering is taken out and we're put back in. We get our identity back and our Father's name. Okay? So I forgot to tell you that. Your books say, instead of the king, where Yahuah is talking to the president of the daughter of Babylon, right here in the United States, inherits Gad, in your books, which proves it's witchcraft, says Molech. Cancel that name out in Yahuah's name. Who is he? He is a false god of Edom. It is on your money. At the top of your dollar bills, there's a little tiny owl that has been hidden on it. And also Bohemian Grove. We all know about that in California. And we all know who goes there, this government, to relax. And we know what they do in there. It is an idol. A concrete statue of an owl that is huge. that I have asked him to destroy with weather. That is who this government serves. Which is another reason why Yah took cash. Because as Hebrews and back in our own covenant with Yahuah, we don't touch witchcraft or anything dirty. We don't touch dead things. And we know that their currency has defiled trees, because that's what it's made out of, and other fabrics that Yahuah owns, in plants and fabrics, cotton, everything. But we also know that it has hidden witchcraft on it. So Yah is getting rid of all of it, cash. And he has moved all of us to a card, a debit card. Everybody's moved to a debit card, so we're not touching it. He preserved the way for us to come back to this covenant, Gad. Now, why would Yahuah say, does Yasharel not have any sons? Has he no heir? Is because they have been telling people that we were wiped from the earth. We haven't been wiped from the earth. Yahuah protected that covenant, and he protected that promise to Abraham and that bloodline. We're not Cherokee. We are not indigenous. We're not Indians, and we are certainly not native. We are right here in the daughter of Babel, in the possession of Edom, the white man. And we know that because their false god, whose name is Molech, who Yahuah calls out with Baal, both of them are false gods. They're not real. Cancel both their names out with my Elohim's name and my father, Yahuah. That tells you, because Yahuah said that Gad is here, and we are awake. And we know that our birthright, our royalty, and our identity was stolen from us. Because today we know that Rockefeller created Gog Israel to do exactly what they did, but y'all said it would fail. We are Gad. And we have all the power and royalty back when we come back to our own covenant in our only one Elohim, and it's our Creator, the Great Spirit. Our covenant was lost through the generations because of what our elders did with the white man, Edom. And these are the judgments of it. And you can go on to read it on what's coming. Everything was spoken by Father in ancient days. And that's why he said, no witch told you this. And none of your stargazers or anyone else, none of your sorcerers. Because they know him. And they know what he said. They don't have an eye to see. They have an eye to trick. And to confine and put in bondage, Yahuah said. Because his covenant is the only one that frees you. His laws that are right and good, which is what Yasharel means. He calls himself Yasharel, an upright Elohim. And we are right here in the daughter of Babel. And see, in ancient days, these presidents used to be called kings. Y'all calls Edom Gog, Edom, beasts. Whenever he says that stuff, he is talking about the house of Edom, Cain's line. And the sooner that you start working this out in a Sefer and come back to the Hebrew books, you'll know exactly what's going on. That's why all of Edom is confounded. That's why they tried to keep us in the Egyptian sun worship books of Second Testament. Yahuah told us that in Ezekiel. Oh, we are Gad, and we are awake, and we have broken all covenant with Edom, the white man, and we are waiting for Yahuah to sound off. My head is bowed to all of our princes. Shalom.